Episode 74, AI and Your Digital Afterlife.
The AI6 Podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
Have you ever stopped to think about what happens to your digital life after you die? Your emails, photos, your private messages, your social media profiles, all sitting there frozen in time. Today I'm going to encourage you to have a conversation that's uncomfortable, but one that every single one of us needs to think about.
If you're the owner of these accounts, you have protections so that other people can't get in and steal your personal information.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pass away, then you likely will want somebody to have access, and it can be pretty tricky if you don't assign that legacy contact to your accounts.
So that's a clip from my segment, The Digital Download, on Dublin City FM. Hello and welcome back to the AI6 podcast. I'm Joanne Sweeney, and in just 6 minutes a day, I teach you how to master AI for marketing and communications. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about how to set up your digital legacy, what the different platforms have in terms of handing over ownership and permission, and also how AI is starting to reshape how we manage our online afterlife. If, like me, you're an iPhone user, you might have noticed that Apple introduced a feature called Digital Legacy on iOS 15.2. It allows you to nominate a trusted person, your digital legacy contact, who can access your iCloud data after you pass away. And this matters more than you think. Most of us have thousands of photos, videos, notes, and important documents stored digitally. Without a plan in place, even your next of kin might be locked out of those memories forever. Apple, like many tech companies, have strict policies, even after death. So setting up a digital legacy contact is important, but it's also straightforward. I've done it. So on your iPhone, open your settings, tap on your name at the top, then go to password and security. Choose legacy contact and follow the instructions. You can add multiple trusted contacts. They'll need your access key that is provided by Apple and a copy of your death cert to access your data. But Apple isn't the only platform you need to think about. On Facebook, you can assign a legacy contact to manage your profile after you die, whether that's memorializing it or closing it down. Google offers Inactive Account Manager, so you decide what happens to your Gmail, your Drive, and YouTube if your account goes inactive. LinkedIn handles it differently. There's no legacy contact feature. If you die, a family member or a colleague has to request that your profile is memorialized or removed, so it's reactive, not proactive. If you care about your professional legacy, it's worth leaving clear instructions in your will. On Instagram, it allows memorialization. Once verified, remembering appears next to your name and the account is locked from edits. Again, there's no way to set this up in advance. TikTok currently offers no memorialization feature at all. Your account remains live unless family members intervene and request its removal, a manual and often complicated process. So, if you don't decide what happens to your digital life, someone else or no one will. And I know this is quite an emotive conversation, but it's one that I've had with my daughter Sophie. She's my digital legacy contact. So, what I think you should do next is appoint a legacy contact. Create a digital will with clear login information and instructions. Maybe add it to the traditional will that's in the hands of your legal representative. Talk to your loved ones about your wishes for your social media and your online accounts. And then, of course, understand the policies that the different platforms have. Your digital life deserves the same care as your physical one. AI is also thinking about digital legacy, and there's two tools that I want to talk about here. The first one is called Here After AI. So you could record answers to life's questions and your loved ones can have a conversation with your voice after you're gone. For some, this might sound really spooky and not something that you want to do. For others, they might be interested in it. Storyfile is another AI tool. So this allows family and friends to ask you questions and you see your recorded video answers, all powered by AI. So this is a tricky conversation. I know that it might scare some people. It might freak you out. You might just say, hey, when I'm gone, I'm gone. I really don't care about it. But for other people, it might be something that you've never even thought about. And you welcome this podcast episode and it's now prompted you to have a conversation. So as I said, I've already done it. Sophie and I have these conversations and she's got all the access and she knows that she's my digital legacy contact. And she's also happy to be that person with that responsibility.
The AI6 Podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
So that's it for today's episode. I know it's a little bit different, but after having the conversation with Michael O'Kane on Dublin City FM, I got loads of feedback from people who said, wow, I'd never thought about it. So I hope you find it beneficial and have the conversation. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you on the next show.